I've tried to bury this story so many times that I almost convinced myself it never happened. For years, I blamed the insomnia, the hallucinations, the constant sense of being watched on stress, trauma, anything that made sense. But none of those lies held up. Because the truth is simple. I opened a door that should never have existed. And now the thing behind it follows me everywhere. Tonight, I will finally admit what I've done. Not for forgiveness. Not for help. Just so someone knows that I didn't lose my mind for nothing. I grew up in a small rural town called Ash Creek, the kind of place where every house had a porch, every resident knew your grandparents, and the only excitement came from teenage stupidity. The biggest legend in town was the Ash Creek House, an abandoned two-story home at the end of Miller Road. Locals swore it was haunted. Old folks claimed that the previous owners disappeared without packing a single thing. Kids dared each other to run up to the porch and touch the door. I was 17, stupid, and desperate to impress my friends. So on a late October night, wind sharp, moon pale, and a chill that didn't feel like weather, I climbed the creaking steps of Ash Creek House with a flashlight and way too much confidence. The moment my foot touched the porch, the boards groaned like something waking up. Behind me, my friends whispered and snickered. "Go on, Ethan," someone called. "Just open the door." I wish I had just touched the handle and run back down. But no. I had to prove myself. So I turned the knob. I expected it to be locked. It wasn't. The door swung open like it had been waiting for me. The musty air that spilled out wasn't normal. It was warm, like something had been living inside that house, breathing deeply, waiting. I should have stopped. I didn't. I stepped inside. My friend screamed for me to stop, but the door closed behind me. Silently. Deliberately. The first thing I noticed was the smell, earthy, metallic, and slightly sweet. Like the air in a cellar that had been sealed for too long. My flashlight flickered. Once. Twice. Then it steadied. That's when I saw that everything inside the house was untouched. Furniture perfectly arranged. Pictures still framed on the walls. A mug on the coffee table, dried brown stains at the bottom. It looked like the owners had stepped out for a moment and never came back. I took 2 slow steps forward. The air shifted behind me. When I turned around, the front door was gone. Not closed. Gone. In its place was a wall, old wood panels, cracked paint, spiderwebs clinging to the corners. My heart hammered. No, 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 that's not possible. I ran my hands along the wall. Solid. Cold. Real. The house had swallowed the door. And then I heard it. A soft dragging sound upstairs. Slow. Uneven. Like someone pulling their feet along the wood. I froze, listening. The dragging stopped. Then. 3 slow taps on the floor above me. Tap. 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 My skin crawled. I whispered, "Who's there?" The house answered with another 3 taps, this time closer. I should have stayed still. But fear makes you do stupid things. I moved deeper into the hallway. The house seemed to stretch as I walked, like the walls were shifting, growing taller, pushing me further in. My flashlight dimmed to a weak glow. A door appeared at the end of the hall, one I swore wasn't there before. It was old and swollen, paint peeling in long strips. Something thumped softly behind it. My breath hitched. Tap. 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 The same rhythm from upstairs. Every instinct screamed at me to run, but there was nowhere to go. So I turned the knob. The door opened slowly as if resisting my touch. Inside was a room swallowed in darkness. My flashlight beam vanished immediately, like the shadows were eating the light. Then something moved in the corner. A long, thin silhouette, taller than any human, unfolded itself from the darkness. Bones cracked like branches snapping in the cold. Its limbs were wrong, too long, too jointed. My throat went dry. What are you? Its head jerked, twisting like it had never learned how a neck should work. Then it whispered, in a broken, layered voice that sounded like several mouths speaking through one throat. You opened the door. I stumbled backward. The thing stepped toward me with slow, deliberate movements. I bolted, screaming, sprinting down the hallway. Behind me, I heard the dragging return. And the tapping. Tap. 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 Right behind me. But when I reached the living room, the front door had reappeared. I didn't question it, I just ran through it, tumbling onto the porch and rolling into the dirt. My friends screamed. I scrambled to my feet. The house was silent again. Dark. Still. Waiting. I never should have looked back. Because in the upstairs window, something tall and crooked stood behind the glass. Watching me. For the first few days, I convinced myself it was trauma. Just a nightmare. Just stress. Then the knocking began. Always 3 taps. Always at 3:03 a.m. Always from different walls. One night, the closet. The next, the window. Then the attic. Tap. 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 Then came the shadows. They moved wrong, too slow or too fast, too tall or too thin. Sometimes I'd see something standing behind me in the mirror, but never long enough to fully understand what I was seeing. My dog began growling at empty corners. Then he stopped eating. Stopped barking. Stopped moving. 2 weeks later, I found him lying stiff on the porch, eyes open, staring at nothing. After that, I started hearing the voice. Soft at first. Slithering. Familiar. You opened the door. I tried talking to my parents. They thought I was losing my mind. I tried staying with my girlfriend. 3 nights in, she woke up screaming. She said a tall shadow stood at the foot of the bed, watching her breathe. She broke up with me the next morning. I tried leaving Ash Creek entirely. The thing followed. In every motel mirror. Every bus window. Every quiet room. It followed. And the worst part? No one else could see it. But they could feel it. People around me started acting strange, forgetful, jittery, hollow-eyed. Some fell sick with no clear symptoms. 4 went missing over the next 2 months. And with each disappearance, the tapping grew louder. The last normal day of my life was a cold December morning. I went to work at the auto shop. Tried to pretend everything was fine. Then my coworker Mike walked into the garage, pale and shaking. You need to see this, he whispered. He led me to his truck. In the back seat, written in fog on the window. He belongs to the house. My heart froze. Mike stepped back. Ethan, what did you get into? Before I could answer, a shadow moved across the window. Tall. Bent. Slow. My flashlight from that night flickered in my memory. I quit my job that day. 2 nights ago, after months of torture, months of running, months of seeing that crooked silhouette in every reflection, I decided to go back. Not to fix anything. Just to beg. I drove to Miller Road at dusk. The wind was biting. The trees stood still, almost listening. Ash Creek House looked the same, dead, waiting, hungry. I walked up the porch steps. They groaned in recognition. The door opened before I touched it. Inside, the house felt warmer. Breathing. Expectant. I stepped in. The door disappeared behind me again. I whispered into the dark, "What do you want from me?" The dragging started upstairs. Slow. Heavy. Then the tapping. Tap. 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 Coming down the stairs. Getting closer. My hand shook as I lifted my flashlight. Something wrong-shaped descended the staircase. The long limbs. The crooked joints. The hollow face. It stopped inches from me. Then, with a voice like cracking wood and broken glass, it said, "You opened the door. Now you are the door." I ran. But no matter which room I sprinted into, the thing was there ahead of me. The house folded and rearranged itself, guiding me deeper and deeper inside. Then I found the same room from the first night. Except now, the darkness pulsed like a living throat. Something whispered from the walls. "Let us in. Let us through. Let us have you." I screamed until my voice cracked. The thing stepped behind me, its breath cold and damp on my neck. My vision blurred. Then everything went black. I woke up on my bedroom floor this morning, home somehow, but the house came with me. Every wall in my room now has a faint imprint of a door. Not drawn. Not carved. Just waiting. The tapping is constant. The shadow in the mirror is no longer behind me. It stands beside me. Breathing. Watching. Growing. I realize now that I never escaped Ash Creek House. You can't escape a place that becomes part of you. You can't outrun a door when your body becomes the hallway. So this is my confession. I am not alone anymore. And soon, I won't be human anymore either. If you find this letter, stay away from Miller Road. Stay away from Ash Creek House. Stay away from places that shouldn't be breathing. And if you ever hear 3 slow taps in the night, don't open your door. Because it's not knocking. It's answering.